So, guys, there's no intro to this episode. And
Why not?
Well, you see, I wrote a lovely, charming intro that all revolved around the fact that Noah's dad was going to be here.
Nah, come on.
But he's not. So George isn't here. So I have two things we can talk about in this intro. One of them is that TFCC has one really dedicated listener in Germany right now. Part of the intro was us grilling George about whether or not he was using a VPN.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but I don't think he is. But yeah,
no, I don't think he is either.
Yeah, so yeah, but it looks like we have like one listener in Germany. So hello, or however you say hello in German. We're happy that you're listening to us.
I'm pretty sure George surfs the net without just unprotected.
Well, that's how you came to be, Noah. And then also,
Jesus, Joe.
And then also, my other thing to talk about was that, guys, Disney fucking took down the Marvel Studios spoilers subreddit because they leaked the first 60 pages of the Ant-Man 3 script a month ago. And now Disney is demanding that Reddit and Google dox the moderators on that subreddit so they can formally press charges.
That's hilarious. That's so stupid.
It's so 1984. It's not even funny.
Disney movie.
That's so funny. That's so... like anyone actually gave a shit about Ant-Man.
Nah, nobody did. But Disney's trying to say that they have a case because people read the beginning of the script, and that's what cost them ticket sales.
I don't think anyone read it. They probably
the movie bombed in its second week, and that's why they need to sue these people. And they've already subpoenaed the subreddit. Like, the subreddit is gone.
That's hilarious.
It is. All the moderators deleted their accounts. They're like scattered to the winds. It's so fucking funny.
That's so stupid. Oh my god. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So those are the two things I have to talk about because George isn't here. We're heartbroken. Noah, you want to do your thing?
Roll the intro.
Hello and welcome to 21st Century Cinema. It's the podcast about film and the film industry. And today it's all about the 95th Annual Academy Awards. I'm one of your hosts, Joseph Delavecchia. And joining me from his parents' basement or garage, you honestly can't tell, it's Noah Shepherd. Hi, Noah.
It's the basement. It's the basement. We don't have a garage. We have a driveway.
Okay. And also with Noah today is my co-founder of the podcast. Joining us from right across the hall from me, it's Jamie Carvello. Hello.
Hello from across the hall.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, who here actually watched the Oscars? Am I the only one that watched it beginning to end?
I catch the highlights, man. I had an important theater meeting a day after, so I didn't watch it that night before. Not because I was doing the theater meeting. Yeah,
I do not give a lot of homework on this podcast. You know,
I think I was watching Amazon
Prime. You have
Prime.
to do for this podcast, mainly because I do all the. We've been through this. I do all the work. You guys just kind of show up.
Yeah,
you could have at least watched the Oscars.
But the Oscars kind of like are
on Twitter.
Boring, and I watched the highlights afterwards. I got all the important parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just shout out to Sandra Mills, who definitely doesn't watch this podcast, but she's a friend.
It'd be hard considering that you have to listen to this podcast.
Well, you can watch it. There's a video.
The video version hasn't gone up in a year, Noah.
Why? The video is so much fun.
Because Jamie doesn't turn her camera on, so
that doesn't matter.
I don't need parts of the video to just be a blue dot that says me.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It's me.
It's just
I am
extra
blue
content.
dot man.
Oh
yeah.
Well, the goal for this episode is that it's completely uncut. It's just going up in its entirety tomorrow morning. Oh. So maybe we'll put up the video.
One of those VTuber avatars, you know?
Oh, you should.
There you go. There you go. Maybe make it a GIF of something. You know, it's like a different GIF each episode or a different picture each episode. Think about it. It's an idea there.
Like a VTuber avatar, are you trying to describe?
Yeah, but are those the ones that move that are like alive?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, okay, yeah. Do one of those.
But also there's a difference watching the Oscars. Joe, you went to like an Oscar party, didn't you? If I watched the Oscars, I would have been alone in my room watching the Oscars.
I won the Oscar party this year.
You won the Oscar party?
Also, my mother wowould like me to deliver a message to the bastard that ran off to Newfoundland with the original trophy to bring it back. Because you were supposed to come back the year after, and then COVID happened.
COVID happened. I'm sorry. So I'm still, as far as I'm concerned, the undisputed champ of your Oscar party.
No, you showed up once.
I don't know if I have told the story on the podcast. I spent one I visited Joe's twice, but I spent one weekend there for the Oscars. I think it was 3 days or something because we had Fridays off that semester, right, Joe?
Yeah, and we did the interview for Sheridan Stars.
Yeah, we did Friday to Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I stayed there, beat all of Joe's family at every single board game we played, then beat them at the Oscar predictions, then went home and never came back.
Yeah, he got the pot and he got the trophy.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm. So when Noah failed to bring back our trophy, we decided to get a new one. So we actually got an Oscars replica.
Yeah, that's a much better one.
And then based off of last year's ceremony, we named it the Wanda Sykes Oscar Party Winner Trophy and put it on a sticky note, which if you watched the Oscars last year, you'd understand that joke. But neither of you did, and I'm not going to explain it.
I follow on Twitter.
Yeah, so
Thanks
but
again,
I won this year. This is my trophy. But also, Noah, you're going to have to come back for an Oscar party one year.
Trophy v. trophy.
Trophy v. trophy, yeah. But yeah. I finally won because I was undefeated until fucking Noah showed up and beat me, and that was what 2019. It was 2019 for the 2018 Oscars.
What won Best Picture that year?
Fuck me up the ass if
Green
I know.
Book?
Maybe I think so.
It was the same year that 1917 was nominated.
Then it was Green Book.
Yeah.
Okay, Noah came. He beat me. I spent 3 years defeated. No, sorry. I was defeated for the year before that, and then Noah beat me. So I was so I went 4 years in a row defeated because I lost by picking 3 billboards to The Shape of Water, and that was the one category that fucked me over. But I actually
top media, Joe.
I cleaned house, actually. I won by over 10 points this year. So.
There you go. Whoa. It's almost like a Noah win.
Fuck, you didn't win by that. You creamed me, but Sue was pretty close to you.
Sue was close.
Yeah,
that's true. I don't think anyone got Best Picture right.
Because nobody thought Green Book was going to win Best Picture.
Yeah, I can't remember what I guessed that year, but I think the only thing that I won it on was coming through for me, Laura Dern with Marriage Story. Was that? Yeah, that was that year. Yeah. Are we sure Green Book won that year?
I think so. No, so many movies have happened in my lifetime.
I gotta see.
What one? The Oscars are the same every year, but also different, and that's what we're going to talk about.
No, Joe, this wasn't Green Book. This was Parasite. Parasite one. And so that's why I don't think any of us guessed Parasite. We probably should have.
I think because we all thought it was going to win international and they wouldn't give it Best Picture.
That was our reasoning, because we expected the Oscars to be more racist than they were, and which I would still bet on that 9 times out of 10. But yeah, that's why. Okay, but this Oscars, all right, so not racist.
Wasn't very racist. No, Jimmy Kimmel really kept laying on the Will Smith jokes, but they were funny. They were good.
Yeah, he was, at least to me, from what I saw. Once again, I didn't watch it, so that's a lot of the stuff I didn't see. From what I saw, he was way better than expected. He's still Jimmy Kimmel. He wasn't Steve Martin or anything.
His monologue was great. He actually did a really good monologue. He made an amazing joke about Babylon losing $100 million, which was really, really funny, that I personally enjoyed because we know how much I hated Babylon.
You did hate Babylon.
I hated Babylon. But he did a really good job. Do you know what the biggest controversy was, though, of Jimmy Kimmel's hosting, guys?
I don't.
So he brought out a donkey on stage as the emotional support donkey that looked exactly like the one from Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, Jenny.
Yeah,
I did go and watch Finchie's after, by the way.
Yeah. He was like, so he made a joke about flying the donkey all the way from Ireland, and then literally you can look this up, like Variety reported this and everything, that like Oscar's donkey bit was a fraud. Like everybody like these like insane headlines about it because they got a local donkey. And so Jimmy Kimmel, like on his show last night, was because it was Monday night for his show, Sunday night was the Oscars. It's Tuesday while we're recording this. There, I'll date us.
There you go. Yay!
But yeah, so Jimmy Kimmel issues like an apology, and he's like, I promise you on behalf of the Academy this will never happen again, but we didn't fly a donkey across the world. Yeah, we just got one locally. It wasn't even a female donkey. But that was, yeah, no, like there are multiple news outlets that were like,
who cares?
Donkey fraud.
Unless there's like some wider ethical issue that I'm unaware of because I didn't watch the Oscars.
There isn't. People are just, that's the thing though. Like there wasn't something at this Oscars. Literally Jimmy Kimmel ended the show by going up to a board that says Oscars without incidents and putting a number 1 on it.
That's good.
Like there wasn't any. It really wasn't. You know,
that's good.
A guy got like a paparazzi guy got trampled on the red carpet. Oh. Lady Gaga ran to help him up.
Oh, good.
There were some interesting fashion choices. One of the co-writers for the song from Black Panther, Lift Me Up, was wearing a dress, and it was an all-white dress.
Oh, was that the one with the big collar?
It's like a huge collar. Yeah. Like nobody behind her could see.
No, that part sucks, but also that's a cool-ass dress. So.
Yeah, but it's inconsiderate.
Sure.
But yeah, no, there were some amazing acceptance moments, some really adorable ones. There were a few ones that the internet's been memeing. But yeah, but we can get into all of that. But overall, I want to say the ceremony was really good, really well done, and it was fun. You know, I enjoyed watching the Oscars this year. I really did. Based upon your highlights, did you guys see anything you wanted to talk about?
No, it depends on what we're going to get into later.
Yeah, same.
Winners aside, just like general moments from the show.
So I saw when people won. That's normally what hits Twitter. So no,
okay,
I don't. Actually, maybe there was something. I thought all the photos of the. Actually, one thing that's really sad is they took the photo of everybody who was there for Everything Everywhere All at Once, like after all of them won their Oscars, and only Stephanie Sue. It does not have one. It's so sad because she's fantastic in that movie.
I was also going to say
my parents' cat is joining this podcast.
Sweet.
She has 3 legs. This is Luna. She's very
maybe
cute.
She can give her opinions.
What do you think, Luna? Anything?
She can't even meow. God.
All right. She's quiet. She's mysterious.
What I was going to say was I also want to just be happily able to report that the In Memoriam was not only normal this year, but Lenny Kravitz did the song and it was nice. It was a sweet.
That sounds like a.
I know I heard it after I said it, but okay. But remember what it was last year, and understand that this was the improvement. Yes.
Now it's time for the In Memoriam, American Woman.
No, he sang. I forget what the song is that he sang, but it was normal, and and John Travolta did the introduction for it because of what's her name, Olivia Newton-John. Yeah. Noah, you're too far away from your mic. You're too quiet.
Now I'm too far. I was instructed to stay further away from.
Yes, for anyone listening to the past episode and you heard a little bit of echoes from time to time, we tried to cut out most of it, but Noah's audio was really not cooperating.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that, but hopefully this one will be better.
Mm-hmm. That's the goal. All right, so let's jump in here, guys. Let's talk about the winners. Let's talk about the losers. Let's talk about the moments that we loved so much. Let's start with Best Animated Feature because Noah, I know this category. I know you guys. I didn't see any of them this year. I still haven't seen any of them, but you guys had some strong opinions on animation this year. So the winner was Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which I know Jamie was your pick. You were very excited about that. And Guillermo gave I don't know if anyone saw his speech, but he gave wonderful speech.
I was personally rooting for Puss in Boots. I did go and see that one after as well, and it was fantastic. If you haven't seen Puss in Boots yet, go see it. It's genuinely like that. It's fantastic, top-notch movie. But I've talked about how much I enjoy animation on this podcast many a time. Guillermo del Toro, what a speech. That fantastic. And that's really what I think was needed for that, specifically for that category. Because lots of times animation is treated as an afterthought or just the Disney award. So the fact that he did speak so passionately about the medium, and it sounds like he's going to be doing more there, that's great. Just fantastic.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I thought his speech was really, really great. I really appreciated the whole keep animation alive thing. And yeah, no, it was really, really good. However, Guillermo del Toro, like, he made a good point there of keep animation alive. A lot of people, though, and it was a running joke of the night, that there were two people who didn't show up to the Oscars that were invited. They were Tom Cruise and James Cameron. And they didn't show up. And the joke was made that the two people who have been telling us for the last year to go to the movies, like, didn't show up to the theater. But what bugs me, and this was a theme of the night that I ended up talking about at my Oscar party, but everybody is giving all this motherfucking credit to Tom Cruise because apparently he saved theaters. He saved the industry with Top Gun Maverick. And let me tell you what Tom Cruise actually fucking did. Tom Cruise made a blockbuster in summer and released it in summer. He made a sequel to an 80s movie that relied heavily on nostalgia and modern practical and special effects. And that is what he did. He did what every single goddamn summer movie has been doing since 2015. And we saw a influx in the box office after a pandemic when the box office was making almost $0. So yes, Tom Cruise did cause a fluctuation in the box office. Did he save movies, though? No. Tom Cruise did fuck all for movies. And I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No notes. I'm always down to slam Tom Cruise a little bit.
Yeah. I don't like that guy to begin with. I don't watch any of his movies, but he didn't fucking save the theater. Like, grow up, people. He did fuck all. Tom Cruise did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. My God, I hate that guy. The only thing Tom Cruise has ever done that I've ever been like, okay, you have my support, is when he gave back his Golden Globes after that all happened.
That's fair. What about Eyes Wide Shut?
I don't even think I've seen it. I don't watch his shit.
Got some weird sex stuff in it.
But,
well,
what if he's listening? You're going to hurt his feelings.
Okay, he's a Scientologist.
He's listening.
I don't give a fuck. It's not a real religion.
Oh my God, what if he lives in Germany?
Oh my God.
What if that's him?
Damn it, Joe. You lost our internet.
He's our most dedicated listener.
Tom's just like sobbing and like takes off his headphones while he's going on a fucking like.
You know what? If Tom Cruise ever listens to this podcast, he is more than welcome to reach out to us via Instagram or Noah's email and come on the show and talk to us about his actual stance and defend himself. And maybe he can change my mind about him if it means that fucking much to him. But Tom Cruise doesn't listen to our podcast.
If you hear that, Tom, it's your only chance.
There you go.
Any
open invitation.
The first awards of the night given out were supporting actor and actress.
Yes.
They both went to the same movie.
Yes.
Supporting actor went to Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. He deserved it.
Yes.
He gave a beautiful speech. He was so excited, so happy. He screamed to his mom at home on camera that he had just won an Oscar. It was absolutely adorable, and just treasure him.
Yeah, he was just sobbing the entire time. What a beautiful moment. Yeah, especially someone who's had like such an up and down career. Well, up and then down and then now back up, and hopefully up for a while. I saw this going around on Twitter, mainly because like obviously you don't want to bring up Short Round all the time that he's there, who is like a dated character, definitely, but also like a lot. That's all he was known as, so he became sort of a one-trick pony. That's kind of what.
I mean, he was also known as Data.
Him. Yeah, of course, but also Short Round. But he has fully come out and said that he would love to do another Indiana Jones movie. So rather than dragging Harrison Ford just kicking and screaming from the nursing home every time, why don't we just let Short Round take over the series and like actually make him a good character?
They're making, I believe, the woman that's now playing his goddaughter in the new film, the new center of the series. But don't quote me on that. But that's what I believe they're doing.
If that's going to happen, I still want Short Round as a prominent part.
You still want the Short Round spinoff?
Yes, but
the Short Round Disney Plus show.
Of course, I do love Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and I'm very happy about that.
So. Yeah, like I said, don't quote me on that, but that's what I think they're doing there. Because there is no way in hell after he fucking makes 2 Marvel movies, Harrison Ford is going to keep making more of these action movies. I'm surprised they got him to make 2 Marvel movies.
Me too. He's just kind of making Apple TV shows. And that's about it.
Isn't he on the prequel to, like, what is it, Yellowstone? And apparently it's really good.
I think, and he's also he's in another new show that's apparently really, really good. At least from what I've heard about it. Yeah, he's doing Apple TV.
If it pays well.
Apparently they pay very well. And that's
they make enough money off their fucking phones, so they may as well pay well.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And then Best Supporting Actress. This one was both of these categories were filled with amazing talent.
Yeah.
But this one really was a nail biter. Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Carrie Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and Hong Chow for The Whale. And so I had 3 people that I was okay with winning, which was Jamie Lee Curtis, Stephanie, and Hong. I wanted Stephanie to win, but I had the feeling they were going to give it to Jamie Lee Curtis just because Jamie Lee Curtis has never won an Oscar before.
And that's why Jamie Lee Curtis won the Oscar.
Yeah. It's like Leo with The Revenant, you know? You didn't really win it for that movie. Right? You won it for your career.
Well, I think it was, I can't remember what comedian. I think it might have been Ricky Gervais, which but they were talking about Leo finally winning the Oscar, which was like, yes, please give Leo the Oscar, because what is he going to do next if he doesn't get it? So, yeah, but yeah, it was a legacy Oscar.
Yeah, it was.
We kind of spoke about this in like the Oscar predictions episode, and I kind of like voiced that I was okay with anyone winning but Jamie Lee Curtis. So I agree, it was like a legacy Oscar more for her career, because that role, I was like, I don't know.
But
I don't know. The other ones were just.
Did you guys see her reaction? Like, did you guys see the announcement? Like her reaction?
Yeah.
Like it was kind of. She did not expect to win at all. No. Like she is just sitting there, and they say her name, and she literally goes like, "Oh my god!" Like she's like this isn't real, sort of a thing. And she gets so excited, she runs up on stage and literally jumps up and down like an excited like young girl getting a pony. And then she gave a speech and everything, and she dedicated it to like everyone across like her entire career, her fellow nominees, her cast and crew, and everything. It was a nice speech. She gave a nice speech. And yeah,
I would have really.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I would have really liked to see Carrie Condon win, or
she was great. She was really great in Banshees.
Any of the other ones, to be honest. I'm not like upset Jamie Lee Curtis won, but she was my maybe like. I did not see Black Panther, so probably tied with Angela Bassett for like my least favorite to win.
While Black Panther was not great, Angela Bassett is doing everything and more with that performance. I will hand it to her. She honestly is. Like, what I hate is that like the most powerful moment she has, they kind of put it in the trailer and they put it everywhere. So it was kind of like whatever. But like if you actually just go and watch like that one scene where she kind of just like stands up to Namor in the throne room and she just kind of like goes off about how she's lost everything and suffered enough. Like she is giving it her all with that performance. She honestly is. And so, you know, even though it is a superhero movie, even though it is some overrated thing at the box office, she did do exceptionally well. And she was definitely, I don't know if I'd put her in that top 5, but I'd probably put her in my top 10 of performances that I saw this year in movies. However, I also realized, we can talk about this near the end, I hated movies this year, guys. It wasn't a good year for movies in my book.
Isn't that every year for you, to be honest?
Yeah.
Hey,
Joe hates movies. Joe loves movies and Joe hates movies. Joe loves movies, but Joe doesn't like movies.
Joe loves to hate on movies.
Yeah, Joe does not like movies.
I just wish people would fucking make something new, okay? The fucking Little Mermaid trailer debuted during the Oscars, and can I just say that looks terrible? Now I'm on a tangent, and you guys are responsible for this one. The Little Mermaid remake.
You are responsible for your own actions.
God awful. No, listen to me. It looks god awful. Okay, I had this argument on Facebook with a mother who loves not my mother, but with a mother who loves Little Mermaid.
Just arguing with moms
with
now.
Random like middle-aged women on Facebook. Dude,
okay, it's a Facebook friend. It's my old boss's wife. Anyways,
it's not even like someone close to you. It's just like some random peripheral.
Okay, listen to the point of the fact that what I pointed out is that so she loves the Little Mermaid and everything. And I said the problem with this is that the movie is covered in a gray tone filter. That's my biggest problem. If you put aside the fact that they're remaking this movie that doesn't need to be remade, I have no problem with the casting. I have no problem with Lin-Manuel Miranda writing more songs for it. What the fuck ever. My problem is that there's this ugly gray filter across all of it. And she was like, well, like, that's okay. Like, I see it as a gloomy movie. And I'm like, the movie has its gloomy tones, 100%. But if you look at the moments for Under the Sea and Kiss the Girl, there are vibrant colors in that, which you see shots of in this trailer. Nothing vibrant about it. But also, if you look at Ariel herself, and especially if you take part of their world where she's on the rock and like the wave explodes behind her, everyone knows the iconic scene. And so even though that is like framed at nighttime with like this pale wave coming over her, Ariel is still not only the focal point, but she stands out. Her hair, even though it's not a super bright red because of the darkness, it still stands out. Her seashells and her tail still stand out. They are nothing like popping or like, oh my God, but they stand out like, and they show that in all this gloominess and paleness, she is love and hope. Okay. I don't mean to get into analyzing The Little Mermaid overly, because I also have my own opinions about that film. But the point is that it's not hard to understand basic cinematography. So why the fuck? Why Noah's like doing such funny actions? But why the fuck are we taking this movie, especially when it's like Under the Sea and you have all these colorful sea creatures? Why is it all gray toned? Why? And someone on Twitter thought the same thing. And all they did,
people I'm gonna get a Coke while Joe's doing this.
Yeah, like so, respectfully, no. Joe, right now you're explaining an argument you had and your talking points to prove that you won the argument that you had on Facebook with your former boss's wife, some random like middle-aged woman you have some like, you know, not a direct relationship with, you just know of.
No, I have a direct. She also worked where I work too. Like,
okay, so your coworker,
old coworker, yeah,
old coworker. Still, it's
okay. Anyways, my point just being that then somebody turned up just like the vibrancy of the pictures online on Twitter. So it was just like this like huge like yellow glowy. Oh my gosh! Like when SpongeBob opens the box and it's the and like no, like I don't know. Cinematography has just been so underappreciated, and I'm gonna loop this back to the Oscars now because the movie with the best cinematography, The Batman, was not nominated this year. Yeah, you can't fucking disagree.
No,
it's gorgeous.
Should have been nominated.
But like cinematography is so underappreciated and undervalued, but we make like this big deal every year at Oscar season to act like we all care about cinematography, and then we fucking go and we take a movie that we're remaking that has a very simple palette and a very simple way of symbolizing its characters, and we're just like gray, darkness, you can't see shit.
I will agree that movies are too gray now, but
like not everything needs to fucking be inspired by My Chemical Romance's Welcome to the Black Parade, people. Fuck off.
Comment I disagree with.
Okay, I'm just saying like not everything needs to be gloomy and emo, you know? Like that's the thing. As much as like The Little Mermaid has its gloomy parts, it is still a story about quote unquote love. Once again, I have other opinions about that film, but Ariel represents something to that film, and the animation and the way she is colored is supposed to lend itself to that. End of my argument. End of my.
The bulk of this episode is gonna be this.
Yeah. So Carrie Condon, like she was fantastic. I don't remember where we were at all.
At the end
we've only done Best Actress and Best Actor.
This is probably a good little spin-off. Cinematography. I will say, like you mentioned, the Batman probably actually definitely should have been nominated. But I do like that All Quiet. I think that's not a bad.
I'm just happy Elvis didn't win. I'm so happy Elvis didn't win.
Especially because like I don't know how much this actually plays into the cinematography category, but it's really nice to see a movie that had so many practical effects get honored.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I hate that it was another war movie, just because, like, can we...
well, they
different.
used cinematography. Yeah.
And
the cinematography was used not just to, like, look at this shot, look at this beautiful... Like, it was used to display certain things and...
Yeah, no, it was.
Evoke certain emotions that couldn't have been done otherwise. So, yeah, normally I'm like, oh, not another freaking war movie. Are you serious? But this one, getting cinematography, I can get fully behind that. So
yeah, I think compared to everything else it was up against, yeah, I have no problem with it winning, especially the fact that it beat Elvis. I really thought Elvis was going to take home more awards, even though I didn't want it to, and I was really happy. For example, best makeup and hairstyling, The Whale won, as it deserved, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they gave that to Elvis. I was shocked that Elvis didn't win best costume design, or Everything Everywhere All at Once, or even Babylon, because it did have good costume design for the time period. But costume design went to Black Panther. Half the people in that movie are CG.
Well, other than that, but that's still part of the costume
design.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more about the design and
yeah, it's still part of the design. Once again, Black Panther is always, like, I would say for them generally, it's always looked better than most of the MCU.
Yeah, and I mean the costumes, they have to, like, try to honor traditional African garb without picking a specific African country.
That is fair.
But still having it be accurate and infusing the, like, tech into it. So I can see that getting costume design, because there are a lot of different things that go into it, and it could fail miserably, but it doesn't, 100%. And it does it really well. So
yeah, that's fair. Moving on to screenplay. Best adapted screenplay.
Yeah.
So this one, this category baffled me, because first off, Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery is nominated, and as I've said before, that movie is just lazy. The writing is god awful, and let's stop thinking that this is something great. Living, I have no idea about. Top Gun Maverick. Now this was interesting. Top Gun Maverick was an original script and an original sequel, but because it's a sequel, I don't know if you guys know this, if something is a sequel or a spin-off, it technically counts as being based off of the characters from the original, and that makes it adapted screenplay and not original screenplay.
That's interesting, actually.
That is interesting.
It makes sense now, like the reasoning makes sense. But yeah. Living was Living the Paul Rudd movie? Where
I don't know. I told you I don't know. I don't know what this movie is. It was the only thing I got a nom for.
I've seen that one. If it's the one I'm thinking of. No, it is absolutely not the one I'm thinking of. So never mind.
Okay, never mind. But yeah, but the one that won is Sarah Polley's Women Talking. And Sarah Polley is not only a Canadian, she's a local here in Toronto. Our friend Jamie Rabonel got an exclusive interview with her because they both frequent the TIFF Lightbox like it's their second home. And so, yeah, she's absolutely lovely, a wonderful, wonderful human who is also a part of the Short People gang, and appreciate her for that. But she won for Women Talking, which was really, really well deserved. She's a fantastic Canadian filmmaker and the first Canadian to win Best Adapted Screenplay.
Good for her. I'm actually going to be watching that either tonight or tomorrow night or sometime. I'm going to be watching that movie with my parents while I'm home. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It seems like some higher concept shit I would love.
So Sarah Polley, absolutely fantastic and well deserved. And then for Best Original Screenplay, you had Banshees, Fabelmans, and Everything Everywhere All at Once in one category. Really stacked. Yeah. In the end, Everything Everywhere won. Everything Everywhere cleaned house, and I did not expect it to clean house. It is very, I don't even know if it's been done before, but or at the very least, it's very rare to win actor, actress, director, and best picture. Like the four biggest awards at the show.
It might be the first.
I don't know.
It's definitely up there. Or like it's definitely one of the only, if it's not the only.
But before this ceremony even happened, Everything Everywhere All at Once surpassed Return of the King for most award wins in movie history.
I was just about to say
it is now the most award-winning movie of all time.
The best movie of all time, objectively.
It is
hashtag truth.
No, it's an absolutely fantastic movie.
It is fantastic.
And it did deserve original screenplay. Top Gun Maverick won Best Sound, which isn't really that shocking. I was really happy to see Everything Everywhere All at Once win Best Editing, because finally a movie that was actually edited well won Best Editing. I didn't know they could do that.
This is the only movie that I can think of
if you notice the editing
ever seen. Yes, this is the only movie that I can think of noticing the editing and it being good.
I wouldn't say the only. It depends. If you're watching something artsy and there's kind of like a shot that relies on like kind of like some form of editing, like, you know, it's very, but it's not like something like, you know, it when you know you're supposed to see the editing, that's when it's good. When you're not supposed to see the editing, that's when it's bad.
Yeah, that's true. This is the only thing that I could like point to.
Yeah, but this is definitely that big difference that we touched on back in the summer, Noah and I. And then we had Best Director, as I said, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Best Actress was Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I actually lied. Best Actor was not Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No, you're right.
It was Brendan Fraser,
who deserved it.
The
My
Renaissance.
God, did he deserve it?
The Renaissance.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, nope. He deserved it. He did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just I'm so happy that he won that. He gave a great speech. He was so happy, and just, you know, I'm glad that Hollywood recognized someone who deserved it, as opposed to Austin Butler, who we're going to talk about now, who is still talking like Elvis for some ungodly reason.
He's stuck. He can't get out.
That literally is what he is telling people.
Trapped.
I'm sorry. Okay, listen, I understand that like he studied that role for like 3 years and like did his best to like mimic the voice, but you cannot tell that movie has finished filming over a year ago. You cannot tell me that you're still talking like that, right?
Like, to be honest, people that even like, no, I studied this character for 3 years. That's kind of like you're a bad actor then.
Yeah, if you need that long to put it together, get your shit together, man.
So you just have to change yourself. Like, I don't know. Like, come on, you're not a very good actor then.
I think I went on this rant only a couple episodes ago, but fuck method actors, man. Like, fuck method actors. No, you were just a bad actor.
I gotta be honest, I feel like... Sorry, go ahead.
Acting is just like, just recreating human behavior. If you're a method actor and you need to feel and get into the life of everything, go fuck yourself. It's terrible. You're a bad actor.
He was method acting the accent at the very least, which is what this is from.
But I think that's also, as Noah said, like that's like, you know, you're trying to recreate and convey this person. So for him playing a biopic, for him to try to recreate that voice, because it is an iconic voice.
Yeah, but he doesn't even when it's not filming though. That's like what defines it as.
Yeah. Anyways, that's fair.
I feel like if you go on the street, 1 in 5 people are gonna have a really good Elvis impression, and they probably did not spend 3 years studying Elvis.
Well, there are hundreds of people who make their living as Elvis impersonators.
Yeah.
Well, those people might have spent 3 years studying Elvis.
But that's their professional career. That's a little different.
That's the only thing they have to do.
That's
Why
all
did one of them play Elvis,
man.
To be honest? That like seems like it would have made way more sense.
Sounds like a Vegas Elvis impersonator.
Austin
Versus
Butler
they ruined Austin Butler. Now he can only be an Elvis impersonator.
I know. But yeah. And so then he gave like an interview on the carpet, which, by the way, was the champagne carpet, not the red carpet, because who the fuck knows why.
Who cares?
Yeah, but he gave a speech, and like he's talking exactly like Elvis, and he's like, I don't think I actually sound like him anymore. And it's like, what the fuck? Oh my God, like this guy is actually nuts. He's milking this silly for all it's worth. My God. Like,
I think maybe once you start impersonating Elvis, you can't stop.
Maybe
and that's why there are so many Elvis impersonators, and Austin Butler has gotten trapped in that same predicament.
Oh, that poor man. That's all he's going to be doing.
He's going to just be like, yeah, that's it.
I got to start limiting you guys to like 3 bits an episode.
This isn't a bit. This is serious, Joe.
Yeah, this is. I have not uttered one joke during this.
/SRS, man.
But yeah, no. Austin Butler, I didn't think he deserved it over Fraser at all. And I love the people on Twitter, because you can tell people did not see Brendan Fraser in The Whale because of people just being like, he was robbed, he deserved this, like how dare he not win after all his time and effort that he gave and everything. And I'm like, guess what? Every actor for the movie they're nominated for gave all their time and effort.
Yeah,
they got nominated. Yeah, that's their fucking job. Like,
yeah.
Guess what? Like, yeah, some people do it better than others. That's how you get nominated,
guys. Like we've talked about film Twitter and stuff. Film Twitter and just Twitter in general just kind of forgets that acting's a job. Like these people get paid to do this professionally. Like, like I saw people talking about Cate Blanchett. Like I can't remember what movie she's doing now, but it was the one she's doing after Tar. And people were like, "Can you imagine going from this to that?" Yeah, I can. She's getting paid a bucket load of money for it. I can't imagine that. It's a job. Sometimes you just take projects because it's your job.
There were some really great tweets that I saw online that I want to share with you guys. One of them was, tomorrow morning Austin Butler's going to talk completely normal.
That'd be hilarious.
Somebody put a gif of a girl crying on Ellen to, Austin Butler talked in that accent for so long just to lose the Oscar. This one, which I think might be Jamie's burner account, is Hope You're Happy Academy. Austin Butler's stuck like that forever now. And then they'll hear people who had like sympathy, which was Austin Butler, you still got the Kids' Choice Award. Don't be sad, which was really good. Austin Butler spent months literally becoming Elvis, like summoned his spirit into his own just to not get the Oscar. I know he's seething. And then you have people who are just like, obviously no one deserves to win an Oscar, but Austin Butler did give his entire consciousness to Elvis. And it's like, that was his own stupid choice. Like,
method actors should not be respected.
Love this one. I've never seen anyone work so hard in their life on a role. 3 years of his life dedicated to mastering and embodying Elvis Presley. He showed up to every event. He gave his blood, sweat, and tears. He deserved it. I'm truly at a loss for words. Wait. Austin Butler showed up to an event where they were going to talk about him, praise him, and give him a super expensive gift bag for just showing up? Oh my God, guys.
Wait, is that potentially... Because that potentially shot at Brendan. Now, it might not be. I don't want to be one of those Twitter people who lash out for no reason. But that could be potentially a shot at Brendan Fraser not going to the Golden Globes.
It might be. It's from an Elvis fan account, so I could honestly see it going either way there.
Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. There was some other people. At the end of the day, I'm proud of Austin Butler, and everyone hating on him will always be a loser and jobless on this app. Like, we get it. You know who's jobless right now? Austin Butler, because he didn't win the Oscar. Nobody's hired.
Elvis forever.
They're like, you're too Elvis for the role.
For Elvis.
But yeah, no, those were great. Angela Bassett too was like holding on to him, like wishing him well. And by the way, when Jamie Lee won the Oscar, go back and watch it, because Angela's reaction, she looks a little salty.
I get it. I get it.
I get it, but at the same time,
I think more people should be salty about not winning awards, because I think if you're acting at that level, like, it's highly competitive, so you should think you should win it.
Yeah, no, 100% you should. But if you're like, and once again, like I said, Angela Bassett gave everything she had and more to that role. But when you're in Black Panther and you're going up against everything everywhere all at once,
that's fair.
Just, you have an idea.
Tailor expectations.
But also the fact that, like, they gave Austin Butler every other award for Best Actor. It was the Academy that gave Brendan the Oscar. Brendan was shocked that he won. But you know what? Like, he deserved it. And I'm really happy that he won.
Yep.
And now, my friends, let's talk about, do we have anything we want to say about Michelle Yeoh? Obviously, she deserved it.
Fantastic.
We all picked her. Everybody wanted her. Like, no shock there that she won.
I think we've,
That's all I can say, I think.
Yeah, I think we've already talked about it.
Yeah.
Because sounds... That's it.
And now the moment that led to the reunion of Harrison Ford and Ke Huy Quan, the moment that has changed the game, in my opinion, going forward. Everything Everywhere All at Once fucking won Best Picture.
Oh, what a breath of fresh air.
They pulled it off. A breath of fresh air. As it's been put, it is the first movie to feature a butt plug fight to win Best Picture.
Which
really,
revolutionary.
Really revolutionary. But no, that movie, like, we've talked about the movie before on the show. I don't want to go over it again, but it pushed the envelope. It did something new. It was exciting. It was refreshing. And that's where I think, because a lot of people were like, wow, A24 is really cleaning house tonight. And I'm like, do you want to know why A24 is cleaning house? It's because A24 is doing what none of the other big ones are doing. They are looking at these smaller creators. They are looking at these people with these wild creative ideas, and they are putting their faith into them to make something. And that's why they're coming out with all these bangers. That's why they're cleaning house at award season, because everyone else is just making the next fucking sequel, reboot, fucking remake, everything. You're out of ideas. You're just repeating it. And the only original things you make is when you put out a fucking rom-com in the summer or on Mother's Day. Like, that's it. You put out like 2 good movies a year for the Oscars and you expect to clean house based upon that? Like, no. A24 deserves it for what they're doing. They're actually
100%.
helping the industry and doing what we've been saying on this show for 5 fucking years now. Make something new. Make something different. Make something good. And not only did Everything Everywhere All at Once do this, but it fucking won Best Picture. This movie is so wild, so different, so fucking crazy. If it can win Best Picture, what can't now? Obviously Babylon, but what
bad movies? Well, yeah, actually, they've been well represented.
Yeah, they have. But Green Book. You know, it is just astounding at the end of the day. I'm so happy about it, and I really hope we don't regress from here. I hope this isn't a one-off. Part of me still thinks maybe, because part of me was also like, it's the Academy. If anyone's gonna fuck this up and not give them Best Picture, it's the motherfucking Academy. So yeah, we could see where it goes from here. But I have hope for the future of award season after this. Either of you want to chime in with anything?
Banshees didn't win anything.
Yeah.
Boo! Yeah. Boo! Boo! That made me a little sad.
And after like that SNL skit on Saturday too, fuck, like they had a rough weekend.
Really sad, actually.
Nobody saw the SNL skit.
That's it.
Watch SNL.
They did like a really like, I don't know if you can call it racist. That's like legitimately a question. I don't know if you can, but they did like a really offensive like skit about Irish people and like specifically did it around the cast of Banshees of Inisherin. And so yeah, and like people online like kind of went at them and they're like, not only is this insensitive, it's just not funny, which is how I feel about a lot of SNL these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just insensitive and unfunny. So except when you get the occasional good host doing a monologue, like when Steve Martin and Martin Short read each other's eulogies a few weeks ago. That was fun.
That sounds fun.
But yeah, so rough weekend for Banshees. And then they had that whole donkey controversy at the end of the night because of Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I would like to see Banshees get something. It was a good movie. Once again, I still haven't seen Fabelmans, so like Banshees is my runner-up out of everything I've seen. So maybe that'll change. I'm watching Women Talking. I'm probably going to watch Elvis. May as well see it. I've heard it's not a bad watch. Like I've heard it's entertaining. But anyway, I got a couple things that I still want to watch from this award season. I'm really backlogged, specifically in horror movies, which I think we're going to see a horror movie make a good run for it next year, at least one of the major awards, because I think Mia Goth is going to get nominated very soon, especially after X and Pearl, which A24.
I think it'd be really interesting to see a horror movie get nominated.
Is that A24? Yeah, X and Pro is A24, right? I know Bodies.
I don't know off the top of my head. I know Bodies was, yeah, but I don't know off the top of my head about the other two.
Remember. Yeah, Mia Goth. There we go. That's my early Oscar predictions for. I'll say next year. It might be a little bit longer, but Mia Goth will be.
Yeah, maybe you should wait for the nominations.
Nah, fuck it. I'm going for it. Mia Goth will get nominated.
No, I'm behind that. I'll back that. I'll bet like $5.
There you go. Joe, early prediction
of who is going, or just Mia Goth in general.
Just an early prediction for next year's authors, or just like a wild
Oscars?
thing. Yeah, just like a wild thing you can.
Okay, well, mine's not wild. I feel like it's pretty predictable what I would say. But if I were to bet something on next year's Oscars, it's that Across the Spider-Verse wins Best Animated Feature.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what? You know what? I'll put a wild spin on it. It becomes an animated movie that's also nominated for Best Picture. Let's see that happen again. It's been fucking decades. It's not going to happen. But
it's been since Beauty and the Beast, right?
I think there was a Ghibli movie.
Oh, probably.
I think there was a Ghibli movie. I want to say it was Spirited Away, but I don't know 100%. But I think there was a Ghibli movie.
Yeah. I think you're right, Joe. I think it was Spirited Away. Coming out soon. I think it might already be out in Japan. I'm not sure, but what's his name? Makoto Shinkai. His new movie's coming out. I would love to see that win Best Animated next year because Makoto Shinkai is fantastic. Should have won for Your Name, but I'm not predicting that because they disrespect him all the time.
Yeah. Also coming out is I believe Timothée Chalamet's Bob Dylan biopic.
Yeah, it's a biopic.
But it'll be nominated. That's why
it will be. Jamie, early prediction for next year's Oscars.
So they're gonna bring this like duck on stage because there's gonna be a movie that there's like a prominent duck character. The duck's from Germany. And it's gonna come out that it's actually a goose they bring out, not a duck.
And that's the one German listener of 21st century cinema.
Yeah, they'll be the ones starting the riots.
Our podcast gets a plug on the Oscars.
You know the ducks at the pond are free. The government doesn't want you to know this, but you can just take those.
Yeah. Same with like the squirrels around. You just got to be quick enough to catch them.
They're free. You can just take those.
They literally are.
Yeah.
Would you like to know what people think are going to be some of the early predictions of movies at the Oscars next year?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? We got
Wes Anderson is releasing a romantic dramedy called Asteroid City.
Yeah, why not? That'll be there.
Greta Gerwig's Barbie film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
Yeah, that'll get all the white men really happy.
Blitz, a World War II drama about Londoners enduring the Blitz in 1940.
It's a war movie.
You need at least one.
It'll be there.
Yep. Saoirse Ronan will also be starring in it. And you know what? She's someone who I think is overdue for an Oscar. She's been nominated 4 times and she still hasn't won. And she's so talented.
Oh my God, absolutely.
It's because she hasn't been. The reason she hasn't won is because they're scared to pronounce her name wrong.
You're right. You're right.
Saoirse.
And then another one that people think has some good predictions, which I think it's honestly just I think maybe my most anticipated film of the year, and I think it might be all 3 of us collectively our most anticipated film of the year.
Oh, The Little Mermaid.
No.
Dune 2.
Dune 2.
Oh, Dune 2.
Dune 2. Okay. Denis Villeneuve deserves it, guys. Fucking give him an Oscar. Oh, he's so good. So good.
Yo, I hope the French version of Dune 2 is spelled like de un. Like the number 2 in French and then
un. And then un isn't un 1?
Yeah,
so
okay.
The name is 2-1.
De un.
Yes, I'm here for that. Yeah.
What is Dune in French? Like now I'm so fucking curious about that we have to look it up.
Well, the word is probably still Dune. Because like it's a proper noun.
It's is
not a proper noun. It's just a noun. A dune?
No, like in terms of it being a title, it would be a proper noun.
Yeah, but it is though?
Guys, it is Dune, but just like they hold the N. It's Dune.
What do you mean they hold the N?
Like the N, like how we like we say Dune, they say Dune.
Oh, usually if you hold an N, that means like you're not including it. So that would mean that the movie's just called duh. Like it's just 2.
You said it. It's duh.
Duh.
It would be do or do duh.
Duh.
Everyone has stopped listening to this episode now at this point.
Yeah.
Germany borders with France.
Germany's still here. Germany's like, yeah, fuck the French. Guys, let's look ahead though to the future, but not as far ahead as next year's Oscars. We've got some exciting things coming up in season 5. First up is that we recorded a rom-com episode for you guys, and we're going to be releasing that at the beginning of April. There's going to be a rom-com episode.
I got something for you. I said I forgot it in the rom-com episode, so I got to get it.
Do it now to tease the rom-com episode. Go ahead, Noah.
All right. So this was something that was after Shyamalan's recent movie, which I saw, and it wasn't great, but there was something that was great in it, and that was Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista is more than a wrestler, way more so now. He is genuinely just a fantastic actor.
He is getting, he is building something. I agree.
Dave Bautista's fantastic in Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin or something. I saw it. It was forgettable. But he's fantastic. And I think during the press for this, he was asked if he would ever do a rom-com. And he said something along the lines of, I absolutely would, but I don't think they're looking for guys like me for rom-coms, which brings me to my campaign I've started in my personal life. I'm bringing it to the podcast. Put beefcakes in rom-coms. I'm talking Dave Bautista. I'm talking Jason Momoa.
We get it. We knew Jason Momoa.
Terry Crews. John Cena. Like, just let's beef up these
all rom-coms. Of those guys and Adam Driver in a rom-com, and it'll be Noah's favorite fucking film of all time.
Absolutely. But no, seriously, let's get the beefcakes in the rom-coms. Let's go. They've been wildly ignored in a world that David Bautista is not beautiful. I don't want to live in it.
Okay. Terry Crews has been in a bunch of rom-coms, just not starring in them.
That's what I'm saying. They need the male lead. I want it.
Okay. We get it. You're going to be the only one in the theater for the Dave Bautista, Jason Momoa buddy cop rom-com.
Joe, you tell me you wouldn't go see that?
No, I just after hearing it, I'm like, oh, I might have to see that. That does sound pretty good. But yeah, we have a rom-com episode coming out in a few weeks for you guys to listen to, where we all made each other watch our favorite rom-coms and we broke them down. It's one of our shorter episodes, but it's a fun one. We had a lot of fun with it. And then we're going to be back in May. We're going to be breaking down the summer blockbusters this year, but it comes with a twist that I'm excited to announce. The twist is we will also be using this to facilitate the debate. Is it okay for popcorn movies to have no plot?
Okay.
And we'll also have a special guest that I'm not announcing yet on the episode.
Is it Jamie Romano?
No, it's someone who's never guested on our show before.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Do I already know the answer to this?
No, you don't.
Oh, okay. So it's not the one that
I'm bringing in a wild cannon. I'm bringing in something interesting.
Okay.
We're gonna wait for it. But yeah, this is also like.
Am I aware of this person? Am I getting excited for no reason?
This is a whole like Joe thing. So if this backfires, we can blame Joe for the rest of the podcast's life.
I already do.
Okay.
So.
I mean, the podcast hasn't backfired though, so you blame me for all of its success.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
There you go.
But yeah, and then also we'll be getting very close to our 50th episode, which is coming up in July right now. I believe it's scheduled for June or July, one of those two. We'll have our 50th episode of 21st Century Cinema, and so we're going to do something fun there. As always, too, we have been talking with Jamie Rabanel, and I'm hoping to have him back on too at some point this summer. And Jamie also has someone that she will be bringing onto the podcast too this summer in the near future.
Perhaps.
That's the one I knew about.
Yeah. I'm telling you, bring him on the podcast. Bring Evan to 21st Century Cinema.
I mean, he has to like decide to be on. I can't just like bring him and then.
Yeah.
I guess I could, to be honest, though.
Bring him by the house and I'll force him to do it. I'm very good at
Okay.
convincing people to do things they don't want. Look, 80s marrying.
That
came out bad. That came out bad. Came out bad. Maybe we'll cut that.
You're good at helping people get the confidence to do what they want to do that they might be adverse to because they're intimidated.
I'm good at getting people to come on my podcast even though they don't want to.
To what on your podcast?
To come on my podcast.
Joe's really good at getting people to come on him.
Oh my god. Can one of you just plug yourselves, please? Can we wrap this up? Fucking hell. I've got a crazy conversation to get back to.
That's so true. Okay, go to Instagram, go to @LordBozoCore, go to @BlossomBand, go to @TheCurvello, and you'll find everything that I'm doing there.
You know what's awesome? If you go to The Curvello, you will see everything she is doing there except this podcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, that's great.
It's underground, Joe. It's
not underground. It's not.
It is underground.
We need listeners. Fucking share the podcast. You're a co-creator and a host.
We're so big in Germany. We're like David Hasselhoff's music career.
No,
he was really big in Germany.
Was
we understand the joke.
Yeah, he had a music career and he was really big in Germany.
Dude, don't you want to be like David Hasselhoff? I do.
Yeah, he was
in that sense. In that sense only.
Yeah, I don't know what else he does.
I'm just ignoring you guys.
Okay,
yeah, in the last 5 episodes, 20% of our listens have come from Germany.
There you go. Oh, it's not only wait. You said we only have one German listener, right?
No, it's more than one German listener.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you that right now. Yeah, it's like 30 German listeners.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Germany. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Does that mean we only get
these stats are also skewed because 2 of these episodes are not live yet. I just have them like locked in. So these are actually in the last 3 episodes, we've had 30 German listeners, making up 20% of our listens.
Thanks, Germany.
And one of our episodes has only been up for a week. Which, by the way, can I just say that during this past week, we launched our Oscar predictions episode. Oh. And it's doing all right. But you know what's still getting listens alongside of it?
What?
The 2022 Oscars predictions episode. That episode is on track to becoming our biggest episode. It's still getting insane listens every single week. And I don't get it.
I don't get it.
It used to be Noah versus Noah would just keep getting insane numbers every few weeks, but it's this episode. It's very consistent.
You guys can find me. No, you guys can find me on the radio still, 590 VOCM if you're in St. John's, and a whole bunch of other AM and FM radios if you're not, or at VOCM.com. I do news stuff. But more than that, St. John's Short Play Festival, we have their submission form live. So if you're based in Newfoundland and you want to be in the St. John's Short Play Festival in September of this year, then please submit your play. We love it. If you have a play, like a finished script, if you have just an idea for one that's half done, improv, we accept, just anything. If you have an idea, pop it in there, and we would love to have you, and maybe you'll get chosen through the lottery system. I've got that going on. Shakespeare by the Sea, which is a theater company I worked with last year. I'm back again this year. We have our show picked out. I'm very excited for it. I just haven't quite publicly announced it yet. Dates are not official yet, but it's going to be during the summer. It'll be great.
It will be exclusively announced on this podcast. We will have the first scoop, so make sure you're tuned in.
Actually, I might give the first scoop to work.
No, we'll have the first scoop. We'll just post it 3 months after.
There you go. So yeah, that's where you can find me. So just, if you're doing theater or interested in theater and you're in the St. John's area, please come check it out.
Awesome.
That's it. Joseph.
Well, Noah, Jamie, you can find me on Instagram at the one and only JDV with underscores in between each word there. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram at Who Killed the Peacemaker for all of my comic stuff. Still loving comics, still loving Watchmen. That hasn't changed. The podcast itself is growing all the time in Europe, though, for some reason. And so if you are a fan, please make sure that you're following us on our socials, on Instagram at 21st Century Cinema, on Twitter at TFCC Podcast. And if you look either of those 2 up on Facebook, you'll be able to find the show. The show also has a Patreon, patreon.com/TFCC, where you can support us monthly. But if that's not a commitment you want to make, you want to do only a one-time thing, we have merch. We have tons of merch going back from design since the show first started. We've got the OG logo. We've got the version 2 logo. That came in a bunch of different colors, by the way. We've got some art that Noah Schaefer has done for us over time, including some DC art and also the Shut Up Joe merch, which is our best-selling merch. And, of course, that new logo, that sexy new yellowish beige, I don't know the exact color logo that we now have for this show. We changed ourselves up, guys. We got a facelift. We weren't all black and gloomy because we were like, Hollywood, if we're telling you to not do this, we should be
beige and gloomy.
Yeah, okay. But we're brighter. That's the point, is that we're brighter. And make sure that you're Sorry, not make sure. If you want to buy some merch, but also make sure you're subscribed to this podcast wherever you're listening to it: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Echo. Which, by the way, this is funny, in the last 3 months, our #1 listening device for this podcast was an Amazon Echo. With like a decent, I don't have the exact stat in front of me. I'd have to pull it up, but like
it was
from
like Germany.
No, it was like 63 or 65%, somewhere around there, of listens from the last 3 months all came from Amazon Echoes.
Sure.
So, yeah. What's the Amazon Echo's name? Alexa. Alexa knows who we are. She's a fan.
I don't like that.
You know who else knows who we are? The fans who are going to email us with any questions at shepherdnoah13@gmail.com. Right there. Yeah. Any questions you've got about the show, anything you guys want us to talk about, please send in either to our socials or to that email. And also, if you do email that, Noah will send you a personalized response back and possibly even a selfie. He may even link you to his nude shoot on his Instagram if he really, really likes your message.
All of those things exist.
They do. They do. But as always, we really appreciate you guys listening to the show. We appreciate you guys coming back each year to listen to us talk about the Oscars, because nobody wants to talk about the Oscars anymore, let alone listen to us talk about them. Not even us. I know, right? But we will continue to do it every year, as long as this show goes on. And how long will this show go on, though? We really don't know. But 6 seasons and a movie, maybe we'll do a movie. Thank you guys so much for listening, and stay tuned for our rom-com episode.
Joe.
What?
You forgot something.
What did I forget?
At least I didn't hear it. Hyperlinks, Joe.
Oh, everything that I've talked about is hyperlinked down below.
There you go. What are you doing? Not bragging about our hyperlinks.
If you haven't figured it out yet at this point, I mean, like, the Germans know. Who else needs to know?
Though? What if this is their first episode they're listening
to? There wasn't going to be a second if this was their first, guys. Whoa.
This was a good epiode.
This was a good episode.
I think I was hilarious during this.
I thought you made no jokes whatsoever. Pick a fucking lane, Noah. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and listening, not watching. Fuck, maybe there's a video version of this one. I don't know. And we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.